Welcome. My name is Shiraz. I am a energetic facilitator, a belief shifter, and what I do is I help people to discover the subconscious beliefs they have that are controlling their lives, and help them to shift that into creating so they can create a different life. So, so what I've discovered is that your beliefs create the entire reality you live in. And the problem is most of our beliefs are at a subconscious level. So the life you have, if you're not happy with it consciously, it's because at a subconscious level, you're actually very, very happy with it. So during these discussions, I interact with the people on the call, and we talk about what issues you have going on in your lives right now, and I'll tell you whether or not your subconscious and conscious beliefs line up. And if they don't, I'll say, well, whatever you're saying isn't actually true for you. Then we'll dig down and find out what the subconscious beliefs are, and I'll ask you, are you willing to destroy that belief? If you say yes and you mean it, then the belief actually shifts, it goes out of your system, and a lot of people will have a physical reaction to it. The most common thing is you just sort of feel light and probably a little happier. Some people get a little dizzy. Some people will yawn or cough. When energy moves for you guys, any one of you guys, my body reacts by yawning and coughing, so you're going to hear me doing that during this call. And if you ever hear me say ow, it's because one or more people on the call are sending energetic resistance, and it kind of feels like energetic daggers being thrown at me. Because you don't want me to touch whatever we're discussing about, because you're holding it tight to you and keeping it precious. And those are usually the things that we need to move the most. Anytime I'm working on any person on the call, the energy goes out to everyone on the call. So if I ask one person, are they willing to destroy the belief? If you say yes, then it's going to move for you as well. And the other thing I might ask is, are you willing to step out of the story? Stories are repeated patterns we have in our lives. So you have stories like, I always meet the wrong person, or I can never get ahead, or the world is out to get me, things like that. And when you step out of those stories, then the story goes away. A new story comes in that can be a lot better for you. I think that's it. So these calls are pretty much a free-for-all. You raise your hand if you want me to work on you.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay. I think I really need to shift my energy because I've had like a chaotic last 2 weeks. So my energy is kind of messed up. My ex was here for 2 weeks. He tried every technique he could to kind of like manipulate me, but he wasn't able to. So that's good news. Mm-hmm. But he would like text me every day. He would get our son to intervene. He even had a friend of his call me to say he wanted to get back together. And then there was all these mixed messages that he wanted to settle. But then he had provided documents that were all fake. Mm-hmm. And it was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. You know, he was saying different things, but then doing just the opposite of it.
Yep.
Like he claimed he didn't have any money to pay for his lawyer and blah, 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 and wanted to settle. But when I gave him a way out, he didn't accept it because he wanted me to agree based on his terms, yes. Basically. Yes, same as always. So He wanted to bully me and I didn't fall for it. He wanted to see me. I said no. He wanted to talk to me. I still said no. And I finally saw him in court a couple of days ago after 6 months. That was like so gross. I couldn't sleep for 48 hours. It's like my whole energy got so yucky. And he didn't get the things he wanted because the judge didn't fall for it, even though he's falsifying all the information. He's trying to get out of paying support. He's even trying to get out of paying temporary support. He's trying to give me the hardest time ever.
Okay.
He hasn't succeeded so far. He's just messed up my energy. But I think I'll get over it. He just left yesterday, so I think maybe I need like 48 hours or something to cleanse myself of all that. Ugh. I don't know. So help me. I didn't fall for his tricks, so that's good. The judge didn't fall for all the lies. That's good.
So this is what it's fascinating because you just listed victory after victory after victory, and you seem to be upset about that.
I'm not upset about that. I'm just so grossed out by this whole thing.
But this is your choice, though. You're choosing to be grossed out. I'm pretty sure anyone listening to what you just said would think, "Wow, she just had an amazing thing. She didn't get fooled. She didn't get tricked. The court was in her favor. She got everything she wanted." And she's saying, "Well, now I feel gross." That you're choosing to look at that whole situation and come out of it negatively, even though it was a victory on pretty much every front.
Well, not quite. All the false information that he sent in, I've been looking over all of them, and I have to prove that they're fake.
Okay.
So just reading through them just makes me so mad. The way he's just made up all these numbers, and he's made pay stubs for himself, and everything is fake, but it's on me to prove that his documents are fake.
Okay.
So that's stressing me out.
Okay, but again, there's that thing, and we could say, okay, that's stressing you out, but that's still a choice for you to have that stress you out. But everything else, where everything went wrong, you're still saying that made me feel icky, it made me feel gross.
Interactions with him are gross.
Okay.
Having to deal with this horrible person is gross.
And again, this is a choice you're making. When you step back and you just look and say, he's trying to manipulate everything and he's not getting away with it. This is the type of, you can come at it from a place of amusement. You go, oh, there he goes again. There he's doing that. Look, the judge caught him. Ha, ha, ha. And just be amused by him getting caught and amused by all the tricks he has to do because he knows he's in the wrong.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So when you look at it from that point of view, you see he's coming from a small place. He's coming from a place of weakness, and he's doing everything he can to try to pretend there's strength there, but there isn't.
Good point.
So
yes, tell me that more. That was good.
So start looking at this in a different way, and then you'll come at it with a different attitude. And even like, especially if you're in that and you just look at these papers that you're looking at with amusement and like, look, you tried to do this and how you tried to do that. The ways to show that that's false will actually get easier. They'll come to you. They'll show up for you easier. But when you're mired in the frustration of it and like, oh my God, what's he done? And how could he do this? That frustration keeps you from seeing ways out of it. It keeps you in the problem and not the solution.
You're right. So
are you willing to choose to stay positive and see this from a positive point of view rather than the negative point of view you've been choosing to?
Yes, yes.
Okay. How does that feel?
Better.
Cool. All right, just keep that up.
That's it?
That's it.
How do I get the ickiness out of my system, though?
The itchiness?
Icky.
Ickiness.
Just having anything to do with him has just messed up my energy. It brings up all the things that I don't even want to go over anymore, ever.
He doesn't mess up your energy. You mess up your energy. You decide that whenever I interact with him, I'm going to mess up my energy because he's so icky.
Oh. Okay. How do I not do that?
You could just say, like, I'm not going to let him affect me. He's not powerful enough to affect me. I'm strong. I'm potent. It's like I can do what I want with my energy. I don't have to be subjected to him, right? And you're already showing that because you're not falling for his bullshit. You're not being manipulated. You're getting these things. So you don't have to be affected by him in any way. You're just saying, well, it's icky to be around him, so I'm going to feel gross while I'm around him, and I'm going to keep that grossness on me for about 48 hours.
Oh, so. Okay. I choose to destroy and uncreate that times a bazillion.
Okay, cool. Okay. Good. Just have fun doing that.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi. So I have two things that are seemingly unrelated, but maybe they are not unrelated. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe three things, but one is really not being afraid to move forward. Mm-hmm. So my relationship, my husband and I have decided that we're going to separate. But we still love each other very much. We have plans to stay in the same house together until next spring, and so even though the decision has been made, which is a good thing, and I want to stay, I think, see, I waver. I'm wavering a lot because he's a really good person and I love him very much. I never would have gotten married and every relationship has ups and downs, of course. That is not really even the issue. The issue is that we have more of a friendship than a marriage. And I see and foresee like a beautiful life ahead of me, doing my own thing and maybe finding someone else and all of that. So I'm trying to keep that vision, but there is a big part of me that feels like, wait, maybe he could be that person, or maybe that could change, or, like I still have this hope. And so without, vilifying him, because I don't really need to, how do I like get right with this decision?
So this happens in a lot of relationships, and it actually keeps a lot of people that are in bad relationships from getting out of them, because you look back at when everything was amazing, and so that hope comes in, like maybe it can be like that again. But when you keep looking back at what it was rather than what it is, that makes you waver in your decisions and make the wrong decisions. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to stay present and look at the relationship and look at exactly who you are right now and who he is right now, and say, do we belong together?
Right.
And if you can't say that you do, then stop going to hope that maybe things will change.
I think I'm not looking even back. I'm looking like, could it be this amazing thing in the future? Like, I'm not really replaying anything from the past. Mm-hmm. I don't feel that way. I feel like, but I understand what you mean. I think people do that a lot. I'm just thinking like, okay, I have all these big dreams and goals and stuff. And could he would have to change. Like, he would have to be literally a different person.
Okay, so
that's not probably going to happen.
Yeah, you can't change anyone, and you can't wait for someone to change.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I guess like moving out of the fear of that, and then also like, being right, like feeling like alignment and feeling okay and feeling, just really at peace with that decision and not being afraid of what that unknown looks like.
Yeah. And this is the big thing, the unknown, what's about to happen can really be scary for people. And so people just back down from that because where you are is perfectly safe.
Yeah, big time.
It may not be happy, it may not be satisfying, but it's really, really safe.
Yeah.
So are you willing to destroy the belief that safety trumps the unknown and new experiences?
Yes.
Ooh, a bunch of you reacting to that one. And are you willing to destroy the belief that people need to change in order for your life to go the right way? Ow!
Oh.
Wow!
Oh my God. Am I willing to destroy the belief that people need? Oh my God. You don't know how, like, I hate to say this, but I think I feel that way about a lot of people.
Well, that's why I didn't say him. I said people.
Yeah. I am. I'm totally willing. Yes, absolutely. I'm willing to destroy that belief. Yes, that's not fair for me to put that on people. Oh.
Yeah. I remember one of my old mentors used to say that if you think that other people have to change before your life can be good, then you have to pay for everyone else to go to the psychiatrist. Are you willing to do that?
Maybe not. Yeah. And they might not go, even if you pay.
And when he said everyone else, he was talking to the whole world, right?
Yeah.
That's a big bill.
Yeah. True. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How's that feel? Better, worse, same, or different?
Different. Like a like tingly. Like I think just I need to sit with that for a second.
Okay.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Unmuted. There we go.
All right.
So, a recurring pattern for me of late has been that I, to the exclusion of everything else, will focus on a thing and chew on it, work on it night and day until it's done.
Okay.
And on the one hand, that's good because things are getting done. On the other hand, everything else is taking a back seat, sometimes more of a back seat than it should have.
Okay. So is the thing you're doing the most important thing?
Well, it certainly feels that way in the moment
Okay.
because I'm totally focusing on it.
And you're focusing on one thing for days and days, or just like during the day for
Yep.
stuff?
Like a work task, for example,
Okay.
that I spent, I don't know, 13 or 15 days in a row on.
Okay.
Like I said, it seemed very important.
So what you want to do is each day when you wake up, just sort of reevaluate, and is that still the most important thing to do today?
Interesting. Okay.
All right. So then when you do that, when you start saying, okay, what's the most important thing to do, then you start doing that most important thing. Then you get finished that and go on to the next thing. So you may have that work task, but then you wake up the next morning and you go, well, the work task is important, but the most important thing for me to do right now is actually do my laundry because I have no clean clothes. And then when I'm done that, I can get back to saying that work task is the most important thing, and I'll move on to that and just keep going to what's most important. And
Yeah.
Because as long as you're prioritizing each day, things will tend to work out, because that's a technique that's been used for so long and it's so effective. Most people don't even use it. It just sounds like you're taking it to the extreme in the other direction.
Yeah. Been kind of focused on things in bits. And, it's good on the one hand. This Saturday, arrived at the family cottage to install a water pump, and worked on it from 2 in the afternoon till 2 in the morning, because that's what it took to get it running, and that way I could wake up to the hot water tank actually being full and have the option to have a shower.
Okay.
And for me that was important. And we've talked about this before. My brother did exactly what he's done in the past, and it did not surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, oh yeah, Mark's busy working on that, so I'm just going to do my other things and then go to bed and not ask if he needs help or needs anything.
Yep.
His friend, actually, who was up here, did way more to help. And I'm like, wow, he's got decent friends at least who will help. He won't, but his friends will.
Okay. So?
Mind you, they'd been invited to be guests at the cottage without him actually checking that systems were working. So they'd been here without running water for 6 days by then.
Oh, wow.
They were pretty happy to,
happy to
help get the water running.
Okay.
Thankfully, it's summer and you can swim in the lake. But
So the other thing that comes with working on a single task for a long period of time is your mind needs a break.
Oh, it wasn't getting a break. I would work till I fell asleep, wake up, and have the problem already, the next couple steps already on my mind.
Okay.
In a loop.
Okay, so here's the thing. If what you're doing, if you're in this place of joy doing it, if you find that you don't need as much sleep and you're just anxious to do it and it feels great doing it, then you keep going with it, because then you're in touch with spirit and spirit's guiding you. But if
Right.
it becomes this obsessive thing where you're not having fun and you just have to get it done, then you've slipped out.
Oh, that feels like a really fine line to tell where I am.
Well, it's based on your happiness. If you're not happy doing the thing you're doing, but you're saying, no, I'm going to just get this thing done, I don't care what it takes, and you're either angry or frustrated, and you're like, I'm still going to, that might be a time to take a break and then come back to it. I'm not saying stop doing it entirely, but you need to shift so you can get your emotions back into a place where you're happy again. Because remember, positive emotions generate positive vibrations, which bring positive results. Right? And there's always, the need for the mind to reset and take a break whenever you're in that state. Like the story I tell about with my brother and his friends doing their homework, and I was visiting and my dad was there. Watch your brother, and I'm like, what? He's going to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, so why do I want to see that? And he and his friends have been working on a problem for like an hour, and they hadn't been able to fix it. And then my brother says, okay, guys, I got to go use the bathroom. He goes into the bathroom, comes out of the bathroom, he goes, I got the solution. And my dad's just chuckling. He goes, that happens every time. Whenever they're stuck, he goes to the bathroom. It's like his mind does a little flick inside the bathroom because he's not thinking about the problem for a while. And he comes out and he's got the solution.
Yep. Either that or it's written on the back of the toilet paper roll.
Could be that too. I didn't check.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
So I've been really struggling with moving forward. I left my job of 12 years 2 years ago. I started one business for a year. It wasn't aligned. I shut it down, and I've basically spent since October sort of spinning, doing a lot of learning, and I'm really not able to formulate some offerings, which of course has had a significant negative impact on my financial bottom line, and I am now in debt. So I definitely want to get out, but I'm really struggling. I guess at the root of it all with self-worth, right? And being able to own what I have and the value that it is for others. And so, yeah, that seems to be the space that I can get so far, and then I get knocked back with this, who do you think you are nonsense and all sorts of old tapes that I'm really struggling with just cutting once and for all.
So when you stop learning and start doing your business, will it succeed?
That's the plan.
See, that's not a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do believe that I have it within me. I just haven't been able to access, I guess.
Yeah, and see, that's still not a yes, right? So that's what's going on. Like, you're showing what's going on in your subconscious is that at a subconscious level, it's like, I don't think this is going to succeed. What if this doesn't succeed? And instead of finding out whether it succeeds or not, I'm just going to stay in this holding pattern where I keep learning so I don't fail. Now, the result of that is you're going into debt, you're not happy, and things are just stagnating. But at the same time, deep down, you're like, I still haven't failed, though, because I haven't actually started. Okay. So are you willing to destroy the belief that not starting something prevents you from failing it?
Yes.
What happens if you jump fully into your business and it doesn't do well? There's something coming up, but how will people look at you? Ooh.
Yeah, that's been less of a concern to me lately than it has been in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a concern though?
There's still a bit, right? Because I know that in fully stepping into my truth and being who I am, I worry about what that means for, I guess, my family, right? And because I'm very different from them, right? So being in my truth I guess in some way to me feels like I don't know if judgment's the right word, but a very public disconnecting from who they are.
Yes. So are you willing to destroy the belief that if you step fully into your truth, you have to disconnect from your family?
Yes.
Are you willing to destroy the belief that if you step fully into your truth, you will be rejected by your family?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are you willing to destroy the belief that you shouldn't step into your business until you are sure no one will object or judge you for it?
Yes. Yes.
I remember, if you start really being you and start doing this business, if people don't like it, that's their problem. That's not your problem. Right? Never sacrifice your happiness so other people are comfortable with you. Right? Let them get uncomfortable. Let those that really can't take it leave, and let the rest just start getting comfortable with who you've decided to become. And trust me, if people start leaving, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that now see who the new you is and say, you know what, I want to hang with her.
Yeah. When you clear space, then there's room for the aligned to come in.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's funny you're saying that, but there's still a little bit of resistance. So the belief that if you clear a lot of space, you may end up alone. Are you willing to destroy that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, how's that feel? Better, worse, same, or different?
That feels better. I have some tingles.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, welcome.
Is that me?
That's you.
Hi. I split up with my husband about a month ago. My choice. I'm thrilled.
Okay.
Happy every minute. He found a place right away and moved out. And it's been a couple of months since that I've been looking and I haven't found anything, and I'm scared that I won't, and that I'm concerned that the fear of not finding a place is keeping the apartment away from me, not letting the universe bring it to me.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yep.
Okay, so what you want to do is start picturing that place and how wonderful it's going to be in that place.
I have been.
Okay. And also get your mind off the fear of not finding it, the fear of being stuck where you are. So it doesn't have to mean you have to go into a completely opposite direction and just start focusing on the other place. But when you can get your mind onto other things, positive things in your life, the successes you're having, the things you enjoy, and just get your mind off that situation, then that opens up things for that situation, because the joy in those other areas will flow in to this area and start making changes for you.
Okay.
So it's really weird because you've got this stuck here forever thing going on. So are you willing to destroy the belief that you are stuck there forever?
Yes.
Are you willing to destroy the belief that not finding a place is punishment for what you've done? Ow.
It's a new thought. But yes.
Weird. Ooh. Wow, that's a lot of energy on that one.
Not a thought that I have ever had about punishment.
How are you feeling now, though?
Much better. I'm crying, but I'm appreciating. I'm grateful. That's why I'm crying. I feel more relaxed, like something's let go.
Yeah.
And I thank you.
Welcome. So sometimes when we do something for our own happiness, we feel bad about the people that get affected. And so at a subconscious level, we're like, well, no, I need to get punished for what I've just done. Right?
Okay.
And so then that's what creates a situation. So now that we've shifted that, we open up the energy, so new possibilities. So
Good.
So one other thing that comes up then because of that, the belief that you need to get punished when other people get hurt because of your decisions for you. Are you willing to destroy that?
Yes. Tingly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hey.
So I think the last time we spoke, I was in the process of trying to look for a job and trying to conceive. So the good news is I got a job.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thanks. So after a year, like something shifted and all of a sudden I started getting a lot of offers. So I had my choice, which was great. So I guess the problem is, so now that I'm in this job, so I'm in finance, and I was kind of told that the previous person in my role was kind of making a mess of things, and we got audited and got like big red flags, and I really come and like shift things around there. But the issue with me trying to shift things is that people don't necessarily like change, I'm finding.
Yep.
So people are giving me a hard time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, oh, we didn't have to do this before, or yada, yada, like to the point where I'm now bringing home this kind of stress. I feel stressed every day, stressed to go to work. I come home and I just have anxiety. I got sick this week, so I called in sick yesterday and today, and I have so much guilt about being sick that, you know, people might think I'm lying. I don't know why. I just have this guilt and something that people, I don't like it when people don't like me. And now it's like, you know, for a while, I think people might not like me because of what I have to do.
Yep.
And I think that's really affecting my ability to conceive too. I thought maybe once I get into a good place with work, that would help. But now I just feel like I'm like in a rougher place than where I started before.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to adjust my thoughts on that.
So the first thing you gotta do is stop giving a crap about what people think of you.
I know, and it's so hard for me to do that. I feel like I've always, you know, coming from my mother, I've grown up always like that. So now it's like, oh shit, how do I do that?
Okay, so are you willing to step out of your mom's stories about what you should think about what other people think?
Yes.
So in your job, are you trying to help the company?
Yes.
Are you trying to make everyone's lives better?
Yes.
Okay, so if you know that, then stop giving a crap how people are reacting to it, because people, like you said, people hate change and people hate doing things the same way.
But some of them are actually mean to me.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been in that situation in several companies that I've gone into because I come in and I'm expecting everyone to do their best. And people have been used to just doing what they're doing, which isn't often their best. It's just doing what gets them by and gets them a paycheck. And so when you start pushing people to be better, pushing people to change it and do things in different ways, they're going to be pushing back and they're going to be mean. And the reason they're being mean is because they've created their safe little world, and now you're saying, no, that world's not going to exist anymore. So they're trying to protect their world. They're trying to be right when you're saying things are now different, and people hate not being right. So don't take it personally. You have to look at it as that they're trying to protect their reality. That's why they're being mean. They're coming from a place of insecurity, and and trying to get you to change what you're doing so that they just feel safe and secure the way they've been feeling all this time. Now, if you keep persisting and you start getting results and you start showing them that this is better for everyone in the long run, they're going to shift with you. So one of the companies I worked for, I got in there and I made so many changes in the first 3 weeks. The entire staff hated me, and they were vocal about it in our meetings and stuff. And but then we kept going, and the products we started putting out started getting better and better. And there was a time, it's like a month before I was about to leave that company, one of the developers came up to me. He said, "Have you ever thought of starting your own company?" And I said, "I've thought about it." "Why?" He said, "Because if you do, the entire development team is willing to leave with you." It was just like, oh, okay. The one that wanted to kill me when I arrived. Okay. But people aren't used to the new way, so they're going to fight.
Yeah, and people are really questioning my judgment and my ability to do things. They think because I'm new, it's because I don't know what I'm doing, but it's really the opposite. It's really because I know what I'm doing and the previous person didn't. Yeah. But they don't know that, so they're giving me a hard time, and
My big response when situations like that come up and they're saying, well, this is not the way the other person did that, and this is not what we're used to, then you have to look and say, okay, the company has all these issues and it's being audited, so how well did that work?
Well, here's the thing though. So when I got hired, the boss, who's no longer with us, so I've only been there 2 months, but the woman who hired me pretty much told me that she doesn't want everyone else to know about these audits and these problems because she doesn't want the previous person to look bad. She doesn't want to put blame on. So it's like I have to change things without putting down the other person, which isn't like a nice thing to do anyway, but I can't even tell people why, I'm making drastic changes.
Well, you still can. You can just say, this is more efficient. This works better. This will save you time in the long run. This will save a lot of headaches in the long run. I know it doesn't seem like that now because you're used to doing what you're doing. But what I'm trying to do is make life better for everyone. Right. And if they still are resisting and still coming at you, you still have to stay true to you. You're doing what's best for everyone. They're going to fight just like small children sometimes until they get used to the new way of doing things.
Yeah, I guess my question is, how do I manage my own reactions to that? Like, I have a hard time with that, with so many people now not liking me.
So it is, instead of taking it personally, just understand where they are and acknowledge where they are and say, okay, they're just doing that because they're scared, right? Or they're upset, or they're trying to protect themselves. It's really nothing to do with you personally. It's them protecting their world, right? And so when you look at it from their point of view and come at it from a compassionate point of view, and just understand they're going through this change process, and this is their way of reacting, right? That they would do it with any person that came in and was doing with what you're doing. It's not about you personally, it's about the change itself. And that helps you to disengage from that and be able to deal with all the crap. A little technique that I learned way back that works for a lot of people is also when you get home, there's a story about this man that had a trouble rock, and it was just outside the door of his house. And what he'd do is he'd come home, and just before he got in the house, he'd put his hand on the trouble rock and say, "Trouble rock, I'm giving you all my problems from work. Can you hold on to them while I go in my house?" And then he went in his house, and he had a wonderful time with his family, didn't think about work, did his thing. And in the morning, he came out, touched the trouble rock and said, "Trouble rock, okay, I'm going back to work. You can give me back all the problems so I can take them back to work and deal with it." And then went to work. And it's just getting in that sort of frame of mind when you come home so you don't have to bring work home with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are you willing to destroy the belief that if people are not liking what you're doing, you're being a bad person?
Yes.
Are you willing to destroy the belief that you have to let other people's emotions affect you?
Yes.
Ooh. And are you willing to destroy the belief that this is how it's always going to be at work now?
Yes.
And if you really want, you can have a discussion with your boss and say, listen, they don't know what's going on, so they hate me for what I'm doing. Can we have some sort of solution or plan so that they have more understanding of why this is going on? And see what your boss says.
Well, that boss left, and now I have a temporary manager, and she's actually the one who's giving me the hardest time because she really doesn't know.
Oh, she doesn't? Wow.
What happened. So, yeah, it's really weird.
That's interesting that you created that.
So, what do you mean that I created that?
You create every situation in your life. So for some reason, you decided you have to get rid of the old boss and get in one that doesn't like you as well.
Well, the old boss was leaving before I got there. I just found out when I got there. And then this new one is just temporary. We have another new one coming in September.
Okay.
This temporary one is like amongst the people that were doing everything the wrong way and wants to continue doing it that way because she doesn't realize.
Oh, so she was already in the company. She's just temporarily promoted until someone comes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like acting.
Okay. So are you battling the company?
No.
Okay, that's not coming up as true. So are you willing to step out of the story that it's you against the company?
Yes.
Ooh, that was a big one. Okay, how does that feel? Better, worse, same, or different?
Same.
Okay. So what would it look like if people came into harmony with what your plan is?
I don't know. I guess I would feel less at war.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a challenge for me because I don't know how to do things without having challenges.
Ah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That just came up.
Yeah. So, because it looked like you didn't know what to do if they actually worked with you. So the belief that you need to create challenges in order to succeed, are you willing to destroy? Ouch! Are you willing to destroy that?
Yes.
The belief that work needs to be hard, are you willing to destroy that?
Yes.
And the belief that you need to make things hard so people don't judge you for having things easy, are you willing to destroy that?
Yes.
Okay, how's that feel?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm so happy that you were able to fit me in. Thank you. So I'm dealing with something and I don't understand it. I'm really hoping you can help. I find myself like binge eating. But like basically I have no appetite really during the day, and then at night I start to get hungry, and then I binge eat, and typically like I eat enough food for like 2 people. I'm in front of the camera. I'm sort of starting out a career in that industry, and I'm extremely motivated. It's been a lifelong passion, and I'm just in my first year back into it, and I'm experiencing a lot of success. And yet I find myself doing these things that I know aren't helping me, and I'll even eat foods that I know that my body is allergic to. And I just don't understand it. And so my weight is constantly fluctuating, and I am moody, and I'm not sleeping well. And I am really motivated to be successful in this area. And so I would like to sort of have a routine where I'm getting up at like 6 in the morning and doing some self-care before I start my full-time job. And that way I sort of have like a work-life balance, and I'm able to be in a better mood, and maybe that might stimulate my appetite more during the day, and then I'll probably go to bed earlier in the evening. Like I'm trying to create a really healthy routine that will support my full-time job as well as my 2 side part-time jobs. But for some reason, I keep getting in this pattern that is not helping me.
Okay. So you said you're having a lot of success now.
Yes, like I'm booking commercials. Like I go for one audition and I get put on hold, like for the gig. Like whereas people audition for hundreds and they don't get considered, but I, get auditions and I book a majority of those gigs.
Okay. Are you allowed to have a lot of success?
No, because I'm supposed to focus on academia.
Okay. So are you willing to destroy the belief that you're not allowed to have a lot of success? How?
I feel really nauseous.
Yeah, because that's the belief you're trying to hold in place there. And if you need to throw up, go throw up. You won't be the first one to have done it on these calls.
I find that happens a lot. Like I get really nauseous, but I don't actually throw up.
Okay, that's fine. So are you willing to destroy the belief that you're not allowed to have big successes?
Yes.
What'll happen if you become very, very successful in front of the camera?
People will hate me.
Okay. So the belief that it's better to minimize your successes than to possibly be hated by people, are you willing to destroy that?
Yes.
So here's what happens when you start getting really successful, and it happens for everyone at any level, but it expands as you get bigger and bigger, is that you're going to start affecting more and more people's lives, and you're going to start bringing joy to more and more people, but you're going to get people not liking you and some people actually really hating you. But the people that hate you, if you're doing what you love and doing the best you can, the people that hate you are hating you because they need something to hate. And they're in the very, very tiny minority. But what happens is people get into this big thing that I really don't want to be hated by someone, that they shrink their success. And in doing that, they're denying all the joy and the whole contribution they're making to all the people that actually love them, so that they don't get hated by the tiny minority of people. So this is why it's so important to not care what anyone else thinks about you, because when you don't care what that tiny minority thinks about you, then you can still be this huge benefit and this huge gift to all those people that love you. And you can only reach those people if you allow yourself to succeed bigger and bigger and bigger. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay, so are you willing to destroy the belief that you can't handle these people hating you?
Yes.
Are you willing to destroy the belief that you have to sabotage your life via eating, via sleeping, and via other methods to make sure you don't become successful?
Yes.
Ooh, wow. Okay, how's that feel?
I finally experienced peace. Like, I just finally feel calm.
Good. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. So I think I've been sort of creating very negative experiences over the past 2 years. And I feel like I'm in a season shift right now and I want to lean into it. So my divorce of 2 years, my long divorce of 2 years is finally supposed to be ending as of, in the next month.
Okay.
And I'm in a job that I feel there's a shift going on to career-wise. I'm very eager to have, a bigger role. And in both of these situations, I'm not using my voice at all, or very minimally. And I also feel that I'm blocking myself from financial sort of being taken care of, which that I'm just like, no, everything has to be hard. It has to be hard. I can't let go of hard scenarios. I can't be in a good place where I'm taken care of by my profession, by, the universe, by personal relationships, anything. So I need to work on breaking some of the stuff that's connecting me to these beliefs.
Okay. So what happens if, what would happen if the universe took care of you and you didn't have to work hard?
I immediately would feel guilty. But in reality, what I believe that I would feel would be incredibly joyful and incredibly abundant and just, happy.
Okay. So first person or people that pop into your head, that guilt you feel, whose guilt is it?
Probably from my family.
Yeah. So are you willing to step out of your family story that you need to work really, really hard to receive anything?
Yes. Absolutely.
Are you willing to destroy the belief that you will disrespect and shame your family if you receive lots for not working hard?
Yes, cognitively, yes.
So you have to look at it this way. If you start really enjoying your life and you don't have to work that hard all the time and you just start making lots of money and you're fully taken care of by the universe, it's not an insult or disrespecting your family. It's saying, look, there's another way. Why don't you come along for the ride? Why don't you guys pick up on this too? And it's up to them to say, okay, I'll do that, Or no, I love the way things are, so I'm just going to be very, very upset with you, and I'm going to keep working hard and not being happy because, you being happy and having a fun life really, really insults my beliefs of being miserable and working hard and struggling all
Yes, absolutely.
my life. Right? So, okay. There it is. So, are you willing to destroy the belief that you can't have it easy when other people have it hard? Ow. Ouch.
Yes.
Whew. Okay, how's that feel?
Much better. I do feel like there's still a thing connected to, I feel like I'm drawing out my divorce in order to prolong the settlement.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that my ex is willing to sign. I think I've been sabotaging myself in those areas so that he doesn't, so that I don't have to feel taken care of.
Okay.
And obviously there's emotional stuff attached to that, but I feel like I'm at the place where cognitively, I want to stop that. I want to break that stuff up and leave that behind. And, so I'd love your help with that.
Okay. So are you willing to destroy the belief that it's better to stay safely undivorced than to step into the unknown of being completely separated?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. Are you willing to destroy the belief that it's better for things not to end?
Yes.
Okay, how's that?
Very good. Very light.
Cool.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Thank you for squeezing me in. Two things that I think are very much related because they both kind of define my happiness, and I feel like there is so much resistance in me, so I push them away even though they are very possible. So first, I quit my job, and I'm very proud of myself because it was just so unhealthy there. But now it's been a while, and I'm trying to look for other jobs, and there are so many opportunities, and I keep on applying, and I keep on playing with ideas, trying to reach out, but there is nothing coming to fruition from that. And then the second thing is that I've always been in, short-term dating kind of relationships, but I can't seem to find the person that I can have a serious relationship with. So it's like I know that I'm very comfortable being single, but at the same time, I'm not happy with that and about that. But long-term, there is something blocking that long-term true commitment, I guess.
So are you looking for the right man?
Yes.
Are you looking for the right job?
Yes.
Okay. And see, that's the issue. Okay. For both of them, is that you're holding off on the energy, and this is why you're only having short relationships, and this is also why you're not getting that job, is you want them to be right. And so you're pushing things away until you're absolutely sure they're right. And when you're willing to just make them be experiences, and you get a job, it works out for a while, or maybe it doesn't, or works out for years and years, and then you decide you want to go on to something else. It doesn't have to be the right job that you're going to be with for the rest of your life, but it's something you enjoy. Then you can allow jobs to start showing up. Same thing with men. If you're ever in a relationship with a guy and you feel, oh, something just came up, so he's not the right guy because of this one thing, then those short-term relationships just end. Ow, you're going to such resistance here. Whew.
Yeah.
So
Because
when you
it
just
feels like
allow
that's what I've been doing with those short-term relationships. It's like, oh, but you're not the right one. You're not it. That's it. I'm out.
So instead of looking for the right relationship, look for a wonderful relationship that can just be that experience for as long as it lasts. And when you're open to just having that relationship as an experience, then it can go on for a week or it could go on for 50 years. But when you're trying to make it the right relationship, it's inevitably going to screw up because you're trying to make it basically a perfect relationship. There's no such thing.
Oh.
So are you willing to destroy the belief that you cannot have a man or a job until you're sure they're the right ones?
Yes.
Are you willing to destroy the belief that you need to get out of a relationship or out of a job at the first sign that they might not be the right ones?
Yes.
Whew. Okay. How's that feel? Better, worse, same, or different?
Better, and I feel dizzy.
Yeah, that happens. So just go in this place of enjoying what's about to show up. Enjoy the jobs that show up, enjoy the men that show up, and see how long that you can make that enjoyment last. Don't try to force it and tell yourself, oh, I have to make this feel good, because then you can go past that point where you actually should be in that place. But enjoy yourself, right? See what it has, and have each adventure for as long as it lasts, and then just move on to the next one. And the more you're at ease with every situation, the longer those situations tend to last. So just see what comes up.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you at another event, and have an amazing day.